Hi. So I'm lucky to do sessions for people, and there's a few things I want to talk about. And firstly, there are groups that will try to make you an scapegoat. And a thing about that is that they don't have to do it physically ish. I just had one person I was working with, and basically, you kind of go to bed to sleep. Your physical body falls asleep, but your consciousness is being taken. Like you're sort of abducted, right? But just your consciousness. Now you're being put in another body. That body, organic body, gets your spiritual signature, an energy print. Basically, just think of having a scent. You have your own normal, natural scent as a person. You might have your own clothing. So that's your thing. And then you're basically brought back here to your body. That's it. But your energy scent that's left with the body is now what makes it appear as if you are the host of the body. Like you kind of meet someone and you get a feeling about them and you know that this is that person. They have certain looks and personality and style and everything else. But that feeling when you're around them, you look at them, you just get it like, yeah, that's the person I know. So with that, there are groups that will use your spiritual like spiritual signatures or energy prints and put it in our bodies and will use you in a scapegoat. Basically, those bodies in the astral will be messed with, as in sent out in worlds for abductions, for invading, for being spies, for getting into that usual infiltrate, hijack, and consolidate. And whatever their schemes are, basically, the groups that are playing this game, it's not even control and dominate the whole thing. Sure, they want some dominance, but more like economical style. For them, it's just business. The way people grow chickens and cows and pork and everything else, and then like we love the little animal, but we gotta make money off like little chicken, oh poor thing, and then they sell meat and then they're happy, or like it lays eggs, great. Same thing with on a bigger picture, humans, huge product. Not in just like trade slavery, sexual slavery, that's a thing, the blood, the adrenochrome, and it just goes in tons of ways. But the thing is, when certain groups, like let's say specifically what I was looking at is there's some reptilians, there's a bunch of humans, some grays, they're just using our spiritual energy, and specifically more like psychic people or those that have more awareness, like let's say people who are woke would be more of a target because like, hey, normal like what we would call shapes, or those that are just not aware of things, or those that have their own interests and don't give a damn about spiritual stuff, well, they don't really matter because they're already in the system, they're already doing their job properly. But those that are trying to fight back one way or the other, now we have to, that we being like the grays and like reptilians and humans, certain groups, they see you fighting back. They see you as a prisoner who's trying to escape the prison, or who's like rebelling and like, oh my God, we can't control this being anymore. Well, they're trying to get the catch of you. And since you're working on yourself in lots of ways, you are aware of things that are happening around you and to you and for other people and everything else, they have to find ways to mess with you. And sometimes, if they can't do it physically, like I had something like that yesterday, or, like it's just hard to bring those conversations, hard to get people into your life that you would care about, that eventually, they give you the good stuff to eventually hurt you down later. So instead of that, they basically play with other beings who are somewhat, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it on our level, but they too have ways of doing the energy work, doing the spiritual work, fighting back the entities, fighting back the other groups. And a lot of that, comes with the imagination and creation and other techniques like meditation and stuff. But eventually, the same way some of us are trying to go after the hierarchy of entities to take out the boss, so that the whole thing falls apart and we no longer have the issue, those beings in other worlds look at the organic body with your spiritual signature as like that. They're going to use that method of go after the hierarchy, like what's it connected to. And instead of attacking the body and the creators, being the, like, let's say secret space program or Greys and like reptilians and others, they go after your spiritual signature. They go after your energy print, after you. So instead of fighting back the bad guys that actually hurt them, they're tracking you down and trying to limit you. So we have two parties. One is like those that are trying to mess with us, though, and those that are victims of the group. And we're basically, like it's like free parties and it's all a mess, but we're the target. So a lot of times people end up being a scapegoat and having to get damage from both sides. So to fight that back, it'd be really great to sort of like think of your energy or part of you being in another body. And you just sort of imagine getting it all back, but filtering it as if like, hey, all this energy and like the good stuff that you had, like maybe you've had like the joy, the motivation that like, hey, life is great, or like sometimes you're enjoying, you were creative, you were like sort of like into the dancing and playful mode, whatever part of you that had the stronger sort of beingness that you loved or were connected with more, those parts are sort of it's like not taken, but they're suppressed. And it's like that is the print that the organic body gets. So like whatever parts you feel better with, like as in more connected to you, like that aspect of yourself, think of that sort of coming back, going through the filter where none of the programming, none of the entities or other things can affect that energy. And you just allow that to fill up your body and get it back. Just take a minute to just sort of like relax and allow this calmness fill you up. Maybe the good feeling, maybe this healing energy or whatever feels good to you, but allow that to fill you up after you filter it out and just now own it. So it's basically like, the energy work, the soul fragmentation, like retrieval and all that, but you get those parts of you back. And another good thing to do is communicate. Like, make this telepathic statement to other beings like, hey, whoever was hurt by any being or a body that had my spiritual signature or had my energy, you need to know that I didn't mean to hurt you. And you just explain the situation like, hey, there are groups that are using us or like our energy to make us an scapegoat so that you wouldn't target them while they target you, and like whatever feels good to you as an explanation. But kind of like the casual Ho'oponopono technique where you say, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you thing. And with that, you deal with one side, like those that have been victims of the reptilians and greys and humans, and then you get them off your hooks, and now you can target the others. So like, by that, we can either just imagine their spaceships exploding or doing some inner work, like having the like telepathic conversations with them to find out more details, whatever feels good to you. But it is important to be aware. I mean, like it's always a thing. It's never just one little detail affecting your whole life. It's never just the abduction, never just being the targeted individual, never just the entities. It's a huge load of tons of things that we deal with one little bit at a time, or like however we can manage. And maybe this will help. Maybe this will give you more awareness, like, hey, now I know why certain times I feel my body like, like being messed with. Is like as if there's directed energy, like the energy weapons working against you. And that is a thing. But we also have other spiritual beings who think that we are the bad guys because someone mislabeled us, someone misrepresented us, and now you're in trouble. So finding ways to deal with that, and you might actually get some allies, you might have some help, you might have someone to pull you out of body, but something to try out. So that'll be it for today, and hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.